By watching this video, you'll soon discover how PhonePad can increase your productivity and save you time and money. There are too many features to cover in this short video, so we'll have a look at some of the main ones. The first thing to do is log into your user account. Each user gets an individual account. If you have multiple receptionists, you can set up one account for all of them. After logging in, the welcome window will show your message status. It also has some quick links for accessing help. Like most Windows applications, there is a menu bar along the top and a toolbar underneath it. The toolbar is tabbed so you can quickly access the features you need. On the left is the folder tree, which shows you all of your folders. To the right of that is your inbox, where you receive new messages. These two areas are separated by a splitter, which can be resized and opened and closed. We'll have a quick look at the folders. The inbox is always selected by default when you log in. Next is a folder for any outgoing messages you log. The sent folder keeps a copy of every message you take. Deleted messages go into the deleted folder, where they'll remain for 14 days, before being permanently deleted. You can undelete any message that's in the deleted folder. Below these folders there are personal, public and group folders. You can create as many folders as you like to store your personal messages. Any messages in public folders can be accessed by every other PhonePad user. Group folders can only be accessed by other members of that group. Groups are set up by administrators. The inbox is where all of the action happens. Any phone messages sent to you will appear here. The first column shows if the message is read or unread. The second column shows the message type. The third column is the follow-up status. The fourth column indicates if the message is urgent. The fifth column is the unique identifier for the message. Each message is also color-coded, to quickly show its status. Let's take a phone message. See how it looks a lot like a paper phone message form. This makes it easier for users to learn. First, we need to set who the phone message is for. It can be sent to more than one person. I'll add my name as well, so we can see what happens when a message is received. The current date and time are pre-filled, but you can change these if you need to. We type in the caller's name. If the caller is already in the system, then PhonePad will pre-fill the phone number and company. You can select or enter a different phone number if you need to. We then select details of the call. You can enter a subject for the message. And the message text itself. Then we click Send. Marking a met next to the message for follow-up makes it easy to identify calls that require some type of action. When you click a message to be followed up, the follow-up icon appears next to the message, and the status color changes. Below the inbox area is the follow-up note pane. It also has a splitter, which you can close or resize. You can add as many notes as you like for the selected message. If the message has been sent to the other users, then they can see these notes and add their own as well. When no more action is needed on a message, you can mark it as completed. Other users that received the message will have it marked in their inbox as well, so they know that it's completed. Have you ever forgotten to ring someone back? Well, now you can remind yourself to return a call. Select a message, and then click the Add Reminder button. Set the date and time of the reminder, and click OK. If you check the Display Alert when reminder is due checkbox, a reminder will pop up at the set time. If we go down to the status bar, this icon shows you how many reminders you have. If the number is red, that means you have overdue reminders. You can click on the icon to view the reminders. Oops! As you can see, I have a reminder that's very overdue. From this window you can view the message, clear the reminder by clicking Release, or click Manage to manage all of your reminders. Let's click the Manage button. There are two reminders, the one we just added, and the overdue one. I can edit a reminder and change its due date and time. I can also delete a reminder. When you take a message, you can mark the message for follow-up, and set a reminder at the same time, by clicking this checkbox. It will pre-fill a date, but you can change this. If you have compatible hardware installed, you can get caller ID notifications in PhonePad. You can see who is calling before you answer the phone. If the caller is in the address book, their details will be displayed. You can click Take a Message to go straight to the phone message form, and the caller's details will be pre-filled for you. A really handy feature is that, if someone calls out of office hours, PhonePad keeps a history of these calls. Let's have a look at the other tabs. At the bottom of the window, the Caller Information tab shows you information about the caller for the selected message. This avoids the need to open the message to get their details. A Preview tab lets you view the main details of a message without opening it. PhonePad's built-in address book contains all caller details. When you enter a new caller into a phone message, these details are added to the address book. You can access the address book from the Home toolbar. The tabs along the bottom of the window enable you to quickly access names by their first letter. You can also view all callers. You can search for callers using the search function. We won't go through all of the features here. You can import callers from a file. You can also add callers manually. There are a lot of fields for storing information about a caller. Not all of them may be relevant for your business. You can make an address book entry private, so that only you can see it. You can enter a business address, postal address and home address, as well as multiple phone numbers. If you enter an address, you can see where the caller is located on a map. There are fields for storing information about the caller's family. And there are general notes fields. On the main address book window, access to many of these buttons can be controlled by an administrator. The Columns button allows you to set which fields you want to display on the address book main window, and which order to display them in. On the Settings tab, you can change your password. You can customize PhonePad by clicking the Preferences button. There are a lot of settings you can change. Far too many to go into right now. If your administrator has set up automatic message forwarding, you can have your messages forwarded to email, SMS or pushover, or to other PhonePad users. With Forward via PhonePad, you can have your messages forwarded to other PhonePad users. You can specify when you want these messages forwarded. You can also determine which messages should and shouldn't be forwarded. Forward via email allows you to forward your messages to one or more email addresses. If your administrator has set up an SMS gateway account, you can forward your messages to your cell or mobile phone by SMS. You can also use the free pushover service to forward messages to your cell or mobile phone. With the last option, you can set the times you are normally available each day. You can then set the forwarding options to forward messages based on these. Besides logging incoming phone messages, you can also log any outgoing calls you make. These messages are saved in your outgoing folder. You can also send text messages to other users. Here's an example. In PhonePad there are three types of users: standard users, managers, and system administrators. Managers look after the day-to-day tasks, while system admins look after the PhonePad system, which doesn't really take much administering at all. One of the main things managers do is user management. This is where you create user accounts, reset forgotten passwords, and give users access to various features. Here is how we create a user. Click on the Add button, then enter a username and password for the user. Most users would be a standard user, but we can also give them an account with more privileges if we wish. If the user is a temporary employee, you can set an expiry date for their account. Only the highlighted fields are essential. The rest are optional. One of the really handy features in PhonePad is being able to access other users' inboxes. This is great for receptionists or personal assistants. You'll need your administrator to give you this access. Here is a list of the inboxes I have access to. If I select a name, we can view their inbox and access their messages. This enables you to manage their phone messages for them. You'll notice that the user list also has a splitter, so you can resize the user list. Using the label editor, you can change some of the labels that appear on phone messages so that they are more suited to your industry. Overview lets you see the current status of all messages in the system. User status lets you see the status of each user's messages. This is like a master inbox. It shows the contents of all inboxes in the system, so that you can see every message in one place. You can also view all follow-up notes. There are a number of reports in the system, and we are always happy to add more. As you have seen, PhonePad is not just a program for logging phone calls. It is a complete system for efficiently managing your phone messages and customer contact. You can purchase PhonePad starting from just $97. That's a one-time cost. Or you can try PhonePad for free, for 60 days.